Alright, welcome back to another video. This is going to be a pretty quick video, but we're going to continue to learn some new tags in this video. In particular, we're going to go over the headline tag that we already learned, and we're going to learn the paragraph tag, and then we're going to show why you might use one or the other. So I'm going to switch over here. Well, I'm already switched to my screen, so here we go. This is where we left off in the last video. So I'm going to go ahead and just delete this style right here because it's not really relevant to what we're talking about. If I save and refresh the page, that'll go back to its default color, which is black. So anyhow, if I look down here in the body, we have an H1. And remember we talked about the H1 through H6 and how those semantically are going to be higher importance or seen as a higher level in the hierarchy of headlines on the page. So oftentimes you will use these as headers to sections or pages. The next thing that you have is a paragraph tag, and the paragraph tag is just a P, and then the closing tag is a /P, and then anything that you put in here, I'm just going to put, this is my first paragraph tag, and I want to kind of make this longer to show you something, so if it goes off screen, just bear with me. We want this to be a longer paragraph with many sentences. I'm just making this up as I go. Just trying to make sure this is going to be 2 lines. I hope this is more than a single line. Alright, so let's save that and refresh now. It was still only 1 line. But I could actually just copy this and we'll paste it again. There we go. So you see that this paragraph tag just creates a paragraph, and the paragraph is kind of stuck together like this, but I want to show you something else. If I go underneath here and I create a new paragraph, so I'm going to add another paragraph tag right here, and I'm going to put, this is my second paragraph. That's all I need to put for that, and I'll refresh. You'll notice that there was room for this. This is my second paragraph at the end of this one. But the paragraph tag itself has given it a little bit of space here, and it also has started a new paragraph. So these are separate entities on the screen, and there will be a little bit of space in here. If I right click here and I go to, you haven't seen this yet, but if I go down to inspect, you can see that this kind of pops down. What I'm going to do here is actually click here, and I'm going to put the inspector on the bottom of my screen just so that this looks the same as it did before. And you can see down here underneath my elements I have code, and we're not going to get too much into this right now because we're going to talk more about it later, but you can see that these elements, if I hover over them, it highlights them, and you can see that there are orange lines above and below. These orange lines, if you look right here in the inspector, that is called margin. And this margin, by default, it looks like on the paragraph tag, the browser is giving it 16 pixels of margin. So that just means that there's going to be 16 pixels of space between this paragraph and this paragraph by default. Now we could change that up and do different things, but that is how that works. And if we look at the H1, I'm just going to click on that. You can see that there are 21.440 pixels of margin by default above and below the H1 tag. So again, paragraphs are used for like just what you would think. They're paragraphs. So if you're writing a paragraph, you put paragraph on it, and by default your browser is going to add a little bit of margin to the bottom. You'll notice it's not bolded, the text. It is black. We're going to see in later videos and later lessons how to change all of this and restyle it and things like that. But by default, this gives a pretty nice semantic layout that's readable, and it goes off of your tags here. So why don't you go ahead and practice, and give you a little bit of homework here. Go ahead and practice, create an HTML document like this. And I want you to go ahead and think of like a newspaper article or even a resume, and give yourself some headlines and some paragraphs underneath those headlines, and make a full page that you enjoy to read or look at, okay? If you don't like to type or think of something to write, I'm going to show you something really cool that you can use for example text if you don't want to think of what should I write right here. So if I just search, I'm going to go to Google here and I'm going to search for Cupcake ipsum. Now I like this. There's something called lorem ipsum, and lorem ipsum, you'll see it all the time, is I think it is Italian, but it is basically just randomly generated paragraphs. But Cupcake ipsum it does the same thing. It takes lorem ipsum, and it actually turns it into a bunch of words of sweets. Let me show you what I mean. So if I click, I want to create one paragraph here, and I'll make it medium. I'm going to hit generate. Now if you look what it generates here, it generates apple pie, carrot cake, topping oat cake, souffle biscuit jujubes, sweet roll croissant. So it's just a bunch of random nonsense, but it's better than lorem ipsum, or just funnier or something. But I could actually use that in my example applications here. So let's go ahead and paste that right there. And if we go back here and refresh, now I have that. So I could make myself some different length paragraphs and things like that if I don't want to think about what to type. But the important part is to learn to make this document, this document here, and I'll just go ahead and make this a little bit bigger. But create these documents, an HTML document like this, save it and visit it in your browser, and go ahead and make changes to these H1s, and then go ahead and practice using some H2s, some H3s, and some paragraph tags. That's a pretty simple video. In the next video, what we're going to do is dive a little bit deeper, and we're actually going to talk about what makes the internet, and probably the most important tag that you're going to learn in HTML, and that is going to be the anchor tag. So we'll talk in the next video. Have a great day, guys.